Books. Today we got something a little bit different. We got a book haul of books that I found in my closet that I haven't seen in many years. So, these are new to me. So they're going to be new to you. Let's get into it. So, yeah, basically I was cleaning out the closet in my office here, which is basically right behind the video. I'd turn it, but I'm on my laptop. I had boxes in there that I needed to go through. And I figured there would be some books, because we've been over this. I have a book buying problem, which hasn't started recently. It's been going. So I found my Lord of the Rings Tolkien books right there, and then some other ones that I got off Kickstarter. They're kind of weird. And then I found all of these, which are books that I'm currently in the market for and didn't realize that I already had them. So we're counting this as new books because they were unknown to me. So yeah, we'll just go through them and see what we got here. The first one is by Linwood Barclay, and it is A Noise Downstairs. So this one I actually do remember buying, but I could have swore I traded it in because I didn't think I was going to get to it. But now that I'm reading the blurb again, I'm like, oh, I realize why I bought this book. Because this was like, I don't know, probably like 10 years ago. I was at Books A Million when we first moved down to Florida. I was living in Newport Richey for a little bit. And I bought it at the Books A Million there. And that was like 10 years ago. So here's the blurb. We'll see what we're getting into here. Be afraid. College professor Paul Davis's life is turned upside down when he spots his colleague Kenneth driving in a suspicious manner along a deserted road. Curious, Paul follows Kenneth and catches him trying to dispose of two bodies. That was 8 months ago. After nearly losing his own life that night, Paul is battling PTSD and depression. To cheer him up, his wife, Charlotte, gives him a present, a vintage typewriter, complete with ink, ribbons, and heavy round keys. Inspired, Paul writes about the terrifying experience that damaged his life. However, the typewriter soon becomes a source of anxiety. Paul swears he can hear the keys clacking in the early hours of the morning. Charlotte and his son deny hearing any strange sounds. Only Paul hears the noise coming from downstairs. Are his claims real, or is he going off the rails as Charlotte fears? Paul believes that the typewriter is connected to the dark events that night on the post road. As implausible as that seems. After all, Kenneth is in prison, and he worked alone. Increasingly tormented, yet determined to discover the truth, Paul reinvestigates the deaths himself. But maybe Paul should just get rid of the typewriter. Maybe he should stop asking questions and simply walk away while he can. Because if he doesn't, his darkest nightmares just might come true. Be very afraid. So yeah, now reading that blurb again after I dug it out of the box in my closet, I was like, damn, man, I know why I bought that book. Because yeah, that seems like something right up my alley. So we're gonna put that on the TBR at some point. What the hell's going on here? All right, sorry, this wire is just like hanging all over the place. Professional like. The next ones are from Steve Berry, because I've been trying to collect the Cotton Malone series for a minute now, and I didn't realize how many books I actually had from that series. I'm reading the first one. It is what I consider my car book. If I'm in a place and I'm stuck in my car and I have nothing else to read or listen to, because it does happen sometimes. My phone is a piece of shit, so it dies randomly. But if I'm ever in that situation where I have nothing to read, that car book, the Templar, the first Cotton Malone book, the Templar or something, it's in my truck. So every once in a while, I do pull it out and read it. I don't have it on Goodreads because it's just going to take me that long. Eventually, I'd like to get back into it and just breeze through it. But in that series, we have a couple more books that I did get. And that is Steve Berry, The Alexandria Link. I'm pretty sure this is book 2 in the Cotton Malone series. So I won't be reading the back of these because these are all in a series, and I don't want to spoil anything for y'all. The next one is The Venetian Betrayal. And these are all in that slightly taller than mass market back. Words are fucking hard. In the slightly taller mass market paperback format. The 7-inch one, not the 6-inch one. So just give you an idea. The next one is The Charlemagne Pursuit, which I think is either book 4 or book 5. And Venetian Betrayal was, I think, book 3. And then these kind of get a little bit out of order because these are like the later or the latest offering. And that is The Lost Order. We have The Malta Exchange. And we have The Kaiser's Web. Sorry if you can hear a bunch of crackling in the background. My dog is currently attacking a water bottle. Apparently it insulted her honor and she's destroying it now. The next ones that we got are also in that slightly larger than usual mass market paperback format. And we have Kathy Reich's Grave Secrets. So if I'm not mistaken, because I don't know much about this, but yeah, so this is the book that Bones, the TV show, is based off of. So I don't know where in the series this is, so I might just read the back because, like I said, these are new to me too. 20 years after soldiers ravaged... Oh, and this is... Yeah, Grave Secrets. I don't know if I said that or not. 20 years after soldiers ravaged a village of Chupanya, the survivors still don't have answers about the fates of their loved ones. No records were kept. To the families, the dead are the disappeared. Tempe Brennan and her team from the Guatemalan Forensic Anthropology Foundation are excavating what may be a mass grave to help some of the families identify and bury their dead when her colleagues are attacked. With this new violence, everything changes, both for the team and for Tempe. Yeah, it says Tempe. I know I know her name is Temperance, who was asked by the Guatemalan police for her expertise. Teaming with the special crimes investigator Bartolome Galeano and with Montreal detective Andrew Ryan, who may have more than just professional reasons to join her. Tempe soon finds herself in a dangerous web that stretches far beyond Guatemala's borders. As power, money, greed, and science converge, Tempe must make life-altering choices. So, I mean, that seems pretty good. I've always wanted to get into the series just because I've watched the show Bones. And, you know me, as soon as I watch something and it says, hey, this is based off a book, I have to go buy the book. So I probably did that about 4 years ago when I found the show. So that just shows you, like, the timeline of, like, when I got some of this shit. This one I do remember. And that's Brad Thor's Spymaster. This is also a series that I've been trying to complete in this, slightly taller mass market paperback collection. I read a little bit of this one, but it's like book 20 something in the series, so I'm not going to read the back of that one. But like I said, another good find because these are books I'm looking for like currently now anyway. We have another Brad Thor one, and that's Black Ice. I'm pretty sure this one comes after Spymaster. And that's the Scott Horvath series. And then the next one is from Larry Bond. And this is one that I'm currently trying to find all of these books. So when I found this one, it was actually pretty fortuitous because all the rest of them they have on Amazon. They did not have this one though. And that is Arctic Gambit. And which is crazy because this is like the most recent release in that series, supposedly. So the fact that Amazon doesn't have it is like kind of mind blowing because they literally sell everything. So yeah. And then the next ones are from James Rollins's Sigma Force books, and that is The Judas Strain and Kingdom of Bones, which I think are also later in the series. But this was at a point in my life when I was buying books that sounded good. So, there's your explanation there. The next four are a little bit different. These are in the trade paperbacks, unfortunately. But one of them is, I think, a self-published author. It's Ghosts of the Shattered Kingdoms by Wade Garrett. And that one just has an amazing cover. I can't remember. I found this on Amazon and I ordered it a while ago, obviously. And yeah, I don't know. It seemed like the kind of fantasy that I was into, like that flintlock fantasy kind of thing. Which is the same for the next ones, which are King of Scars by Leah Bardugo, and its sequel, Rule of Wolves, which takes place in the same world that this next book happens in, which is Six of Crows, also by Leah Bardugo. And it's the books based off of Shadow and Bone Netflix series, as it says, on that annoying sticker that you can't get off the covers of the books. So yeah, Six of Crows and Rule of the Wolves and King of Scars. We'll read you the back of King of Scars, and then we'll go back and read the back of Ghosts of the Shattered Kingdoms. So this one is Face Your Demons or Feed Them. The Boy King, the war hero, the prince with a demon curled inside his heart, Nikolai Lantsov, has always had a gift for the impossible. Yet with each day, a dark magic within him grows stronger, threatening to destroy all he has built. His country is Nikolai's first love, and whatever it demands, he will give. Zoya Nazelensky has devoted her life to honing her deadly talents and rebuilding the Grisha army. Despite their magical gifts, Zoya knows the Grisha cannot survive without Rakva, and Rakva cannot survive a weakened king. Zoya will stop at nothing to help Nikolai secure the throne, but she also has new enemies to conquer in the battle to come. Far north, Nina Zenik wages her own kind of war against the people who would see the Grisha wiped from the earth forever. Burdened by grief and a terrifying power, Nina must face the pain of her past if she has any hope of defeating the dangers that await her on the ice. Rakva's king, Rakva's general, Rakva's spy, they will journey past the boundaries of science and superstition, of magic and faith, and risk everything to save a broken nation. Some secrets aren't meant to stay buried, and some wounds aren't meant to heal. And then it says, enter the Grishaverse. So, yeah, it sounds interesting. The show was okay. I watched the show and I had barely any knowledge of it going into it, and then found out they were books, so obviously we had to buy them. Because it did have guns and magic, and I love guns and magic. That's the perfect combination. So now we're going to read the back of Ghost of the Shattered Kingdom by Wade Garrett, and that is, the old world is in ruins. An empire once blessed with modern miracles and magic has become a patchwork of crumbling bergs littered with the detritus of the former world. Torchlight is more common now than neon. Beggars more common than automatons, and yet the last of the elite still cling desperately to the vestiges of their power, swearing a dark allegiance to the enemy. Opposing this threat stands the rebellion and their best man, Arium Black. But even legends fall eventually. After the startling failure of his last mission, Black heads to Pehat's Berg to regroup. When he arrives, however, he discovers the enemy is already there, waiting for him. With the help of a handful of remaining loyalists, Black faces off against traitors and dark creatures alike on the longest night of his life, all while trying to uncover the enemy's latest plot to destroy the Scattered Kingdom's hopes for peace. If he's lucky, he'll survive long enough to tell the rebellion about it. So, yeah, that one definitely appealed to my love of Flintlock fantasy as well. So, those all kind of make sense. But all in all, going through your closet sometimes does lead to amazing things. Because all of these books sound fantastic. I was happy to find the Cotton Malone series that I had been collecting, apparently, and also the Sigma Force and the Larry Bond that I've been looking for currently. So, I mean, this was a fortuitous event. So I figured I would haul them for you in like a lost and found haul. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, because I mean, new books, even if you had bought them years ago and you found them and forgot you had them, I think that still counts as new. So until next time, read, because reading is fundamental.